It's No Work Friday. We're actually in the parking lot of Dave & Buster's. Figured, let's have a little fun. We just had breakfast.
Right.
I'm just gonna set the phone down. Trying to film these videos on a cell phone in the car usually gets tricky, trying to figure out a place to put the phone.
Yeah.
Again, we're not good at video production. So
we had great breakfast.
Good breakfast.
I think I ate too much, but
that's all right. He'll work it off later.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and we're here
this
for
is actually
Dave & Buster's, right?
Yep, gonna have slow fun. Dave & Buster's. We're gonna go have lunch with Drunk Chef Bob.
That's gonna
be fun. If you saw our No Work Friday video last week, you'll understand what we're talking about. That should be good. He says he's not gonna drink today, so we'll see about that. We'll continue this video later. The other thing is this is actually 2 weeks to the day.
That's right.
I got this car.
Yeah.
The Lamborghini. I have to market it. My accountant says, and I gotta say, this a lot of attention.
A lot of attention. Yeah.
We were filming a video last week or something, and some guy literally went all the way around the block just to break out his camera. Yeah. I've never been photographed so much in my life.
Seriously.
And it's amazing the attention it gets. And I was at a gas station getting gas the first time, actually, and some older guy, probably in his 60s or so, walked up to me and said, "Wow, it's really nice." And he goes, "Would you win the lottery?" Mm-hmm. So I told James about it, and I said, "It's funny how people believe the only way, the first thing out of their mind or their head is, or their mouth, I should say, is oh, you must have won it." Right. Yeah. Right, because it can't be earned. Yeah. You can't work for it. It's impossible.
That's true. It's like when Phil first said that, we had this conversation. I was like, wow. And I said, yeah, okay, it's not a huge population of people that have Lambos or any exotics or anything like that.
It's called a 1%.
There you go. See, I said it's a small percent. But the fact that people in general, we were talking about that they can't even perceive earning it. It's like what we talk about is mindset. It's like, if you're already saying that the only way you're going to earn a car like this or a house or this or that, whatever it is, you're already turning off your brain from thinking that you can ever achieve that. That's why Phil and I, we always talk about goal setting. We always talk about working towards it. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, Phil will be the first one to tell you it didn't happen overnight. But we had also mentioned in one of our videos about that people see the success today, but then they don't realize the work it took to get there. But a lot of that has to do with your mindset. Like, anytime that Phil and I talk about things, like, we already believe and we already visualize it happening, so then we work towards it. And then when Phil said that about that guy...
Someone's taking a picture right behind us.
Oh, I believe it, really? Oh my God, yeah. They literally stop and take pictures. That is hilarious. Oh my God. But they're coming around now.
They're coming around now.
But this happens on a regular basis.
Oh, he's stopping. He's stopping.
That is cool. Yeah. Wow, that's like he's doing it again. He's going around again.
Charge for selfies.
But yeah, it's like the mindset of people, and the thing is, you can work hard. Phil's proof of this. He worked hard. He has this, but that's funny that most people just don't even conceive that it's possible.
Now, when I first started promoting this e-learning thing, this e-learning business, it took me a year to really come to terms with doing it, because I knew how to put myself out there.
Right.
I don't like the spotlight. I really don't like people knowing anything about me. I don't use social media personally at all. And I mean, I have accounts and stuff.
Oh my God, more stairs here.
I feel like a really hot woman where guys gawk at her, right? And they, maybe she's very voluptuous. Wow. And all the guys are staring, taking pictures of her. We feel like that, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's really because that's not why I do what I do, and that's not why I have this car for that purpose at all. But basically, when I first started doing this e-learning business, it really came to terms like, all right, I know I have to do this. So I got past that. But then I said to myself, well, I got to prove my success in what I'm doing, because no one's gonna pay for a course for someone who can't make any money, right? So I have to prove my success. So I started doing that. And I think I, got to a point where I did a really good job in proving my success and whatnot, which is not like it's hard to do when you're actually successful. So then what happened was, all of a sudden, people would come to me and say, wow, Phil, I believe you. Like, I believe you do what you do. It's great. But I don't believe I can do it.
Right.
And that's the problem, is nobody believes. They don't have the confidence in themselves. And people ask me, what's the #1 reason why someone doesn't do a business? And I say the number one reason I believe is that they just don't believe they can be successful doing it, which, you know, anybody can do anything, right? You just have to want it bad enough. Think about this, right? I failed out of college when I first tried. I went to the local community college. Failed out first year because I had zero desire to go. So of course I'm not going to do it. But when I had the desire, and when I had a family friend pay for me to go back to college at 21, I actually had the desire and I really wanted it, right? So a lot of people say, like, I would love to be like James and have, like, you know, 20-inch arms or the fuck this guy has, right? So I would love to do that. I love the concept of going and working out. It sounds great on a Sunday night. Monday morning, I'm going to the gym. Yeah. I'm going to get into my groove. I'm going to have a six-pack. You know, Monday morning I wake up. You know, Tuesday's the day. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to get my six-pack. It's going to be amazing, right? Funny, yeah. That's what I think people do when it comes to starting a business, be successful. It sounds great. I really want it, but am I going to get off my ass and do it? Yeah. I know. I came to terms a long time ago. It's not going to happen for me. It's not in the cards to basically work out and, you know, have muscles, okay? It's not in the cards. Because I want it, but I don't want it bad enough, you know? I just don't. I fucking hate working out, right? And there's people out there that love it. Like, this guy, like, loves it. It's like, I'm going to the gym. You know, not my thing. I'd rather go eat, right? I'd rather take this car out to a restaurant and do that. I'd rather do that. So anyway, it's just different, right? We're all built differently. There's a lot of other things that I know I would probably be good at if I actually tried it, but I just don't want it bad enough. But being successful, having these, you know, this car and, you know, the house and, you know, the life I live, that is what motivates me. That's what gets me out of bed. That's what makes me do this. I have that motivation, and I know I can be successful at it. So that's what it comes down to, the individual.
One thing that people don't know about you is you're always thinking. See, and
my wife hates that.
Oh my God, you always do. I know, but you always. This dude is always thinking, and you know, I mean, and it's always amazing thoughts. But here's one thing I learned from Phil. You probably don't even know what to say. He's always been successful, but the reason why he's so successful is because he doesn't wait for shit to happen for something to fail. He's already thinking of the next thing. So I pose this question to you. If you're working at a job and you're thinking that one day, someday, you're going to be successful, you're not even thinking that way, you got to change your thinking. You got to change things that you're doing, because once you start thinking of a different way, then you're going to have different results. And what's that definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting yeah, exactly. So that's what a lot of people do. But see, Phil, he always is evolving. He's like constantly in metamorphosis stage, and then it's like, you know, people.
Word.
I know, SAT word today. At least when I was in school, that was an SAT word.
Now it's Google.
Yeah, but then, yeah, those are the things that you have to really think about. Think about the last time you really changed some way of thinking. You know, sometimes, I mean, I don't know how old people are that are watching this, but, you know, it does you get set in your ways, and it's like, you know, that's why I like hanging out with younger people, because I always think differently, and I like younger girls, but anyway, that's, but, you know, it's all the way that you think, and then you want to just, like, learn something new, you have to change your way of thinking.
That's funny. So, he's right. I always think 10 steps ahead.
Yes.
And the reason why I started the e-learning company, a lot of people don't know this. Right. When I started my e-learning company, I only really started it at first as another way to monetize my leads in my lead generation business. Just because I figured, hey, if I can get people to pay me for this course, it's already a lead that's free to me. Mm-hmm. I was generating 1,000 a day at the time. Then I just got 1 out of 1,000 to pay me. It was, you know, free money, right? That's the way I looked at it. Another way to just monetize my leads and increase my profits for my lead gen business. So that's how I originally started, and then it turned into its own animal, and I started doing its own marketing, right? Did a Kevin Harrington partnership, started doing events. Well, now we're going to start doing events, started doing some speaking, so doing all these conferences, and it kind of turned into its own animal. So the thing is that, and this kind of also goes into the gig economy, right? Mm-hmm. When the government shutdown happened, all the people who were going to work or not going to work, and you know, they didn't know what they're going to get paid, they didn't know what's going to happen. What they do? Oh, well, now that it has to happen, I have to do this. Right. Now I'm going to go start a side business, right? Well, that's the worst time to do it.
Totally.
The worst time to do it is when you have to do it.
Right.
So when people say to me, hey, I have a full-time job, can I still do this? Like, dude, that's the best time to do it, when you have a full-time job. You don't want to do it when you're sitting on a welfare line or the unemployment line and you're homeless. I mean, you know how many homeless emails I get? Can I do this? I'm homeless. I just got one yesterday. You know, and it's just, you know, it's like, you can't wait until the end. So if you're actually have a job and you're making money, now is the time to put into something else. But the problem is, people don't do it. No. They don't think it. They don't have the motivation to do it. They're comfortable. I have a friend of mine who's never made probably more than 60, 70, 80 grand in his life. You know, he's in his 50s. His wife makes less than him. You know, and they're fine financially. They don't live in an expensive house or anything. They don't have expensive cars. But, you know, he has good credit, and he's been able to pay for everything, and he's had a good life, but he's never had anything, you know, extravagant. Doesn't go on vacations, go on one vacation a year type of thing, right? Just very, very basic. Good for him. It's worked for him. Here's the thing. You know why he does that? Because he said him and his wife both told me this at the same time. They gave up on, you know, making a lot of money and stuff, and they settled, right? That's the way I look at it. They settled. That's it, yeah, but they said they gave up, and I'm like, well, what did you even do to even try to get it? Right. That's not going to be handed to you, right? You got to do stuff. So I actually offered him a job. No joke. Yeah. I offered him a job making the same. What's that noise?
Oh, it's like a train or something.
I offered him a job making more than he would make at his current job. Guaranteed money. I even gave him. I said give him a bonus, and I knew he was going to say no, so I made it so good. And if he said yes, it was fine. But I gave him a bonus. I was going to guarantee him the money for 2 years, so we didn't like have to worry that, you know, may not work or not, because I knew he'd be good at what I needed him to do. Turn it down because he didn't want to like change. Right. He's like, I'm good. You know, I don't really know if that's going to work for me. I'm like, dude, it's 2 years guaranteed. You don't even know if you're going to have this shot for 2 years, right? And it's he wouldn't do it. So it is what it is. So if you're, you know, the type of person that is truly serious about being successful and you want to make a change, you just got to do it. You can't sit on the side. You can't be me saying you're going to go work out, right? You can't be that person, because then it's never going to happen. Right. You just got to do it. And you know what? At the end of the day, if you're not going to get off your ass and do it, then stop thinking about it. I stopped thinking about working out, right? I said, I finally got out of my head one day. It's like, it's not going to work. It's not. I'm over it. Like, it's not going to happen. Why think about it? Why pretend that, you know, why dream about it, right? So, not that I really dreamed about it, but you know, but people really do dream. They do. You're right. About cars. Like I dreamed about having a Lamborghini and like do that stuff. So whatever it is that you dream about, you gotta just get off your ass and do it. And don't tell me, oh well, I can't do this because of that crap. You can do whatever you want. You just have to want it bad. I'm like, I could go work out and do that stuff, but I just don't want, I came to terms, I just don't want it bad enough, which is why I don't have it. So if you don't have it and you say you want it, then you really don't want it bad enough, because that's the reason why you don't have it. And I want to hear the whole, oh, well, you know, I tried it one thing and it didn't work, so I quit crap. You know how many things I've tried and didn't work? And I could have quit a long time ago. I mean, you just got to power through, because it does get easier. Like when you first have kids, right? Yeah. It gets easier. It does. Right? Yeah, but when you're in the position, it's like, well, one's gonna get easier. So I get it, right? I get it, but it really does get easier, because as you become more successful and you get your first client and blah blah blah, it just snowballs from there. I hear it all the time with people. I joined, they go from being nervous and like, oh my God, is this the right thing to do, to excitement, okay, now I'm in. Then they get their first client, or they make their first dollar. Then the motivation builds. Oh man, now I'm going forward. Right. That's the thing with me, like with this car and, you know, anything I've achieved at every level, it just gives me more motivation to keep going. That's right. That's the way to do it, though. You're right. That's it. Yeah. Anything else? Well, you know, the other thing, I talk about mindset and all that, keep in mind, you do not have to do it alone. You know, Phil figured it all out for us, so now we're just following what he's doing. We give you unlimited support. So if you're already a member of the program, of course you understand that and take advantage of that. If you're watching this and you don't really know who we are or what we do, you got to look into it, because we provide you with that support, so you don't do it all alone. And then we help you with that. So it's just a great way to do it. And
you know, we don't work on Fridays. That's our mantra. It's something Phil started a couple of years ago, right?
My New Year's resolution.
Yeah, New Year's resolution.
I gotta take a day off.
Yeah, exactly, right? In a big way. I mean, it's great.
We're gonna get shirts.
Yeah, we are.
He's working on it. All right, all good?
Yeah, man.
All right. Go play some video games.
Yeah.